Hey guys, it's KEnODvT here, and I'm bringing you a game between TLO, the purple Terran, and Socke, the cyan Protoss. Now let's get this game underway. This game is unfortunately not one of the from new patch 2. No, I can't remember what the patch number is, but the one where I can lower down the time. So yes, there is you do know how long the replay is going to be, because I haven't yet figured out how to get that block thing that the other commentators do. Now both players being very standard. Wow, this is an old replay, it doesn't even have the time up here. So this is pre 1.1 people, so tanks were still overpowered. And Zerg hadn't been buffed, although that makes diddly squat difference because there's no Zerg. Now both players being very standard, going for 9 pylon, and liquid TLO going for 10 supply depot. I do believe this was when you could put down a barracks before supply depot, so this indicates that TLO is not trying to do an early pressure with Marines. Now this map is going to make it interesting, because this map is Xel'Naga Caverns. 2 very nice watchtowers in my opinion. It's very hard to actually get an army into the opponent's base without it being seen if they hold both watchtowers, but this map does also make an expanding a bitch, because you can attack from there if you destroy the rocks, and there. So it can be quite difficult to hold your second expansion. The little one is laying down a barracks at 13 and just laid down a refinery, so maybe a tech lab, or maybe he's just going to put down another barracks, who knows, maybe an early Reaper to get some early pressure on. The Socke is going gateway and assimilator, so essentially, as you can see production wise, the same thing's being built for both sides, race wise, but we'll see what happens next. I suspect Socke will lay down a cybernetics core, get warp gate, because that's just what most Protosses do, as well as another gateway. Here comes the cyber core, I would suspect. Yep, and a gateway, second gateway might turn up in a minute, or he might just go earlier stuff. Socke gaining some very good scouting information into the TLO's base, and this worker may even end up getting out. But there it goes, he does make it out. However, that Marine making sure that probe is not going to return unless it's on a suicide. Now we do see a second gas going down for Socke, and a second gas has not been yet built for TLO. So TLO hasn't. Here comes the second gas. TLO hasn't actually built a second barracks yet. I suspect here comes a barracks or factory. Second barracks. Now we do see one stalker coming out. This will put an end to this scout, as well as warp gate being researched now. We shall see if a robo stargate or gateway will come down. Pardon me if you guys can hear the background noise. It is raining currently, which is quite odd given it's middle of summer in Perth. Pardon me while I just grab a drink. Middle of summer in Perth, and it was 40 degrees not half an hour ago, so that complicates matters. Anyway, back to the game. We do see a tech lab coming down for the little one, and 2 tech labs, so he's going to be pushing with either Reapers, Marauders, or Ghosts. I suggest we are going to... Yep, they come... Sorry, I missed that. I suspect we are going to see Ghost, Marauder, Marine, because Ghosts, well, when micro do fairly decimate Protoss, given you can remove half their shield with 1 ability. However, High Templars are fairly powerful as well. We do see Stim and Combat Shield being researched as we speak, as well as a Stargate. I'm not sure how effective this Stargate's going to be, especially given that the little one is getting some form of Marines. Five Marines and a Ghost can fairly rip through a Phoenix, and I think the Ghost might even get bonus damage versus the Phoenix because it's light. I don't know, I haven't tried. I've never really seen Ghost vs Phoenix very much. Second gateway has been built and is about to come down. Neither player is going for an expansion yet, so one base play is the predominant order of the day. We do see the third barracks coming down for the little one. I would put a thing on. What's a thing on? I am forgetting. So just getting a nice scout in by Socke, just making sure no silly business is happening, that he's not going to have cloaked banshees in his base in 30 seconds. But he's getting reasonable scouting information. However, if this Phoenix is caught out of position, oh, that was very close. That Phoenix nearly died. Now, I would put a reactor on this barracks, but we'll see what the little one decides to do. Socke hasn't produced anything more out of that Stargate. I am wrong, sorry. He has 2 Phoenixes. So with 2 Phoenix you can start picking up workers and stuff. We do now see the little one pushing out for an expansion. Interesting. Maybe he's going to go for the gold. That was interesting placement. I'm a bit confused about that, but unorthodox play, nothing wrong with that. We do now see 2 Phoenixes just flying around the map, making sure nothing's happening. But this force could be quite interesting. This sentry will be able to lock off the base, but otherwise this is quite a scary force for Socke to deal with, given that he only has 4 zealots. He is now laying down another gate. He has a robotics facility and going for Colossi, so when those Colossi do arrive, he will be able to deal a fair amount of damage to... we do see the scan coming down. He's going to see if he can take down this pylon. This pylon is the only thing powering this gateway and forward, so that does make things interesting. Unfortunately, he did miss that force field, which will have devastating effects. However, 4 Marines being caught out, it's not much, but it's enough to make a difference. We do see a warp in is available if he has resources, so that will help. The Phoenix is trying to do what little they can, but there's only 1 left, so they can't do much. So he's warping in 3 more and using some workers to apply the final bit of pressure. He doesn't actually lose any workers, which is very, very good play, and he manages to hold off this attack with very little problems. Now, if that Phoenix had energy, I would pick up that Ghost, but that Ghost is going to run away, and I suspect possibly survive, unless this Ghost snags it. Nope, there it goes. He was caught by the Stalkers. Now, TLO doing the very good thing of when you... Again, I'm not sure why you didn't just build the expansion there. Of when you do a push, you expand, just to put the pressure on and keep the expansion. However, I do think Socke is about to expand himself, just to match the the little one on expansions, because you don't want someone getting ridiculously far ahead of you. We do see a bunker being put down for TLO, which will give him the defensive advantage around this base. Interestingly enough, neither player has been particularly interested in the watchtowers this game. We do now see 1 Hellion heading out across the map. However, we do see a Colossus. This Colossus could make the little one's life very, very difficult. However, he has laid down two tech labs onto 2 factories, and is now getting a starport. So 2 tech labs on 2 factories could see a large amount of tanks or Thors, but this attack could be quite interesting. This bunker is not going to get completed, and this Bioball is going to have a hard time dealing with this Colossus unless they manage to snipe it. They are focusing down the Colossus and are dealing quite a amount. There goes the Colossus. This army is, however, taking massive damage due to the fact it's stimmed and had to deal with the Colossus first, lifting up and running away, trying to fight around these 2 bunkers, which is where he has a defensive advantage. Now, this expansion wasn't lost. He didn't lose a massive amount of units, and these 2 bunkers will be able to hold off this amount of units with some backup. Little one being a little risky, one could say, putting down that expansion again, but Socke is just heading out, and with a proxy pylon he will be able to reinforce. However, another Colossus and Phoenix coming out, so he will be able to reapply the pressure. He does now have Colossus range, which is allowing him to deal with these bunkers. However, 1 perfect EMP and half of most of that army's shield is gone. He is now repairing that bunker, trying to see what he can do, and this Viking is going to be able to say no to that Colossus. So, Vikings versus Colossi, and he is getting tanks as we speak, which will allow him to match the Colossus's range. However, this worker is going to go down, so we are seeing constant pressure being put on by Socke to this expansion. Now, can this tank siege yet? No, siege has not yet finished. Siege is about to finish. This is going to turn the tide of this fight. Siege has now finished, and we can see 1 shell, 2 shell,